Fitting Out, the Cool Kid Paradox. How Coding Helped Me Become a Lunch Buddy Pro by Sarah Giles. Introduction. Well, hello again. Or maybe this is hello for the first time. If that is the case and you are new here, hiya, I'm Max. I make official reports of my adventures in being a lonely, plus different, plus shy kid in this great big world. The way things are supposed to work doesn't always work for me, so I am finding my own ways to do things. I call it fitting out. Instead of trying to fit in, I find a maxi way to fit. If you haven't read my friendship experiment yet, don't worry, I'll catch you up here. So here's a picture of me and my best bro, Miguel. Last summer, Miguel moved away and I was left with a huge problem. No friends and school was about to start. I had no idea what to do at first. My mind went back to an old book of science experiments that I got from the library. And I thought I would give science a try. That's when I created the friendship experiment. Scientific method: observe a problem to solve. Need friends. Ask questions. How do I find some? Form a hypothesis. Test and record what happens. Conclusion. I went from having no ideas about how to make friends to having some not so great ideas. Eventually, I figured out a trick for meeting new friends, even when I'm feeling lonely, plus different, plus shy. It's simple, really. The secret is to just get out there and try again, and try not to cry if it doesn't work at first, and then have a cookie. I found out that there are actually friend-worthy kids all over the place. If I don't see them at first, I just need to keep looking. I call it finding my bees. Bzzz. In the end, I realized that for me, fitting out worked much better than trying to fit in. Plus, I get to be my same old comfy self when I am with my new bros, and that is a good feeling. After my friendship experiment, it seemed like all of my problems were over, but whoa, Nelly, that was just the beginning. So hey, psst, fitting out newbies, I use a lot of weird and tricky words sometimes. It's one of my quirks. See what I mean? Quirks is a super weird word. It means things about my personality that makes me unique. If I use other words that you don't know, there are two things you can do. First, there is a glossary in the back of this book. Dude, you could even check it out now if you don't want to wait. Second, as you are reading, you will see this foot picture. That's a signal to head to the bottom of the page for more information. This is called a footnote. Get it? Footnote? Now on to my official report on the cool kid paradox. Don't know this word? Check the glossary. Footnote. Information that is placed at the bottom of the page to give additional explanation without interrupting the flow or rhythm of the text above. First day of school master plan. I'm ready for anything, right? Wrong. Chapter 1, crushing it. Okay, here goes. I thought I walked up to school, past the bus loop, around the flagpole, and through the double doors. Normally, Miguel would run up and we would hook our backpack clips together and march into school at the same time. This year, everything was going to be different. No one to hook into, just me. Then, oh thank goodness, up ran my new friend Carlos. Hey bro, I shouted with a smile so big that I couldn't hide my excitement and relief. Hey bro, I just love that we call each other that, said Carlos with a look of almost equal excitement. This is awesome, I thought. School hadn't even started yet, and I already had someone to hang with. All my hard work last summer really paid off. We dropped off our backpacks and met up with Cammie for a couple of rounds of two square before the morning bell. Then Woodrow was waiting for me outside Miss Hammersmith's classroom. I'm crushing it, friend wise. Was I worried for nothing? First day of school fears. 1. Hair won't look right. 2. I'll have to walk in front door alone. 3. I'll have to sit alone at recess. 4. I won't know anyone in class. 5. It will be a disaster and I'll have to run all the way home. Oh man, I really hope this one doesn't happen. As soon as I walked into the classroom, Woodrow shouted, "Hey man!" "Hi, Woodrow." "I go by Woody now." "Since when?" I asked. "Since last Wednesday." "Oh, okay, I like it. Saves time," I said. "Speaking of saving time, we'd better find a seat before the morning bell in case Miss Hammersmith is strict about that kind of thing." But wait a minute now. Where is Miss Hammersmith anyway? Chapter 2. Who? Me? It turns out that Miss Hammersmith was scuba diving off the coast of California, following a shiver of angel sharks. Check this out. A group of sharks can also be called a herd, frenzy, or school. But I think shiver is a good name for it. Thinking about a group of sharks swimming around gives me the creeps. "Hi, I'm Ray." "I know, I get it. You're a stingray." "No, I'm an angel shark. My name is Ray. It's short for Raymond." People make that mistake a lot. The angel shark, or angel shark, looks a lot like a stingray with its flat body and broad fins. The angel shark's tail, though, is more shark-like, and it has gills on the side of its head instead of underneath. Wow, Miss Hammersmith really is a shark lover, just like my brother said. I thought teachers were only interested in math and stuff. So, because of Miss Hammersmith's vacation, we had a substitute on the first day of school. A sub on the first day? That almost never happens. His name was Mr. Blank. He had white hair that stood up and was cut flat across the top, making a perfect straight line. I have no idea how he gets his hair to do that. My hair seems to have a mind of its own. Mr. Blank started the day by telling us his story. He explained that before teaching, he worked at the U.S. Embassy in Belgium. I don't know. I have a feeling that he might really have been a spy. Mr. Blank is a perfect spy name, don't you think? "Okay," he said, "enough fun. Now, we need to get down to business. We have a new student today. And not only is he new to the school, he is new to this town. So we're going to do what we can to help him get his feet wet." "Huh?" I and 4 other kids asked at the same time. I really wanted to shout, "Jinx!" but it would have been too many jinxes to enforce. "Help him get his feet wet means help him ease in and get off to a good start," explained Mr. Blank. "Kind of like when you dip your toes into the pool to get used to the water before jumping in." At that moment, I felt kind of jealous of the new kid, how he was getting help to meet people. I didn't have any help. I had to figure it out for myself. And I still only know a handful of people at this school. Mr. Blank continued, "I want to try something we used to do at the embassy. When new Americans arrived to work in Brussels, they were always assigned an arrival guide, someone to show them around and help them learn the lay of the land. I think we should have 3 guides, one for each of the main parts of the day: classes, recess, and lunch. So, who wants to be an arrival guide?" One hand shot straight up like a flagpole. I could only see the girl from the back, but I knew it was Sissy Gossett. She likes to meet new people and loves to get into their business. She is proud of the fact that she is known around school for knowing what everyone is up to. I have never talked to her before, but I'll bet she knows all about me. Nice. Thank you, young lady, said Mr. Blank. You're hired for class arrival guide duty. Now, we just need two more. Who else? No hands went up. Come on now, don't be shy. I know for a fact that new kids don't bite. Well, there was that one kid who... Mr. Blank's speech became quiet and turned into a low mumble that no one could hear. He's kidding, right? He spoke up again. Okay, well, then I guess we will leave it up to chance. He quickly cut some strips of paper and then walked down each aisle, dropping a cut piece of paper on each desk, skipping Sissy, of course. Write your name on these paper slips, bring them up to my desk, and drop them in my hat. It took me a little longer to fill out my slip than everyone else, since I was focused on crossing my fingers and toes for extra good luck. Please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. It is really hard to write with crossed fingers. Mr. Blank reached into his hat and pulled out a slip. Brayden, you've got recess duty. Phew, not me. And now on deck for lunch duty is... Mr. Blank reached into his hat again, pulled out a slip, and then scrunched up his face to push his eyeballs down so he could look through the bottom portion of his glasses. The kids who were crowded around the teacher's desk bunched up a little closer to see if they could get a peek at what the slip said. It says... Mr. Blank paused, squinting. Matt. Oh, sweet mercy, thank goodness it's not me. Then, after a few seconds, Mr. Blank spoke up again. Oh, haha. Sorry, I read that wrong. I mean Max. Max McConk. Oh, sharks. It was the first thing that popped in my head to say. And I found out that sharks is a really satisfying word to say when you're upset. Miss Hammersmith would have been proud. Speaking of Miss Hammersmith, she would never have let this happen. I realize that not very many people know me, but everyone who does know me knows that I am a keep-to-myself kind of guy. Isn't that the last type of person you would want to be in charge of showing a new kid around? When I didn't know anyone, no one helped me, but now somehow it looks like my new job will be to help him get his feet wet because he's new to school. Sure, he gets wet feet while I get thrown in the pool. Miss Hammersmith? Rotten luck? Who should I thank for this first day surprise that we get Mr. Blank? I'm mad, but he's actually not a bad guy. He seems kind of nice, but yeah, most deaf a spy. All of the different feelings that I was, feeling rushed into my brain at the same time. Maybe I should panic. Yes, I should definitely panic.